Wow. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of The Tim Show. Bit of warning before we begin today's episode. This will be a spoiler-filled review of episode 5 of Wandavision. So if you have not yet seen episode 5 of Wandavision, it is now available to watch on Disney+. I feel like going forward with these reviews and these episodes, since it is kind of a TV show, well, I mean, it is a TV show. I don't even know why I just said that. Since it is a TV show and not a movie, I'm not going to do a spoiler-free video and then a spoiler video. I think for the sake, since it's television, we're just going to do a whole spoiler video. So again, warning, if you have not seen episode 5 of WandaVision, click away, come back, and check this video out when you're done, because this is a big one, guys. So there's your warning. Again, one more time, you haven't seen episode 5 of WandaVision, click away, come back. You have been warned. So let's begin, shall we? Episode 5, WandaVision. Wow. The show just continues to impress me every single new episode. Every single new episode of this show has gotten better and better, and this episode is by far the best. Episode 5 is the greatest episode of this show so far, because we still have, I believe if it's true that there's only 9 episodes, we still have 4 episodes to go. But let's go over the plot really quickly. So now we are set in the 80s. But the thing is, even though this episode does take place in the 80s, it actually shifts from what's going inside the television to what's again going on in the present time. And it does it very smoothly. It's not rushed. It's not edited badly. It's all connected very well. For Wanda and Vision, for what's going on in the 80s, we start learning more that Wanda is pretty much almost the mastermind behind this whole thing. And we learn from what's going on in the present time that Vision's body was taken by the Sword Agency. And Wanda, apparently after the events of Avengers Endgame, broke into Sword and took Vision's body and supposedly brought him back to life. So that's one big bombshell that Wanda did. Then we cut to the 80s. We realize that the twins, the baby boys, they're growing up super fast. Because apparently, I'm not sure, I can't remember quite correctly if it's Wanda that's doing this, but I think it's the boys have the power to age themselves up. So the episode begins when they're still little babies. And before the opening intro, they're like probably, 5 years old, I'm guessing? So throughout that part of the episode, the Wanda and Vision are like kind of going about their daily lives with the boys. The boys find a dog. They want to keep the dog. And Vision is really starting to notice that things are getting a little bit more crazy. He knows something's up. And then as we fast forward through what's going on there, we jump back to the present time. And the detective, Darcy, and all of them are going over the situation. And Geraldine has woken up from, she wasn't necessarily sleeping, but she's regained consciousness after being blasted out of episode 3. And she tries to explain to Sword that Wanda doesn't mean to do this out of personal harm. You can definitely tell in this episode that Wanda is still grieving over the fact that Vision's dead and she's lost everybody in her life. And we get this really amazing scene that I wasn't expecting, where after they kind of go over the history of Wanda's past, about how, she was born in Sokovia with her brother died because of Ultron. There was the Lagos incident from the beginning of Captain America Civil War, and all the crazy stuff that she's done. Geraldine brings in a drone to try and communicate with Wanda after the boys, find the puppy. And Wanda is explaining some life lessons to her boys. So they head out, the kids and Wanda head outside, and the drone's coming in, and Geraldine's trying to contact Wanda, just saying, Wanda, I just want to talk. This is not by any means anything dangerous. I just want to talk. Because Geraldine seriously believes that Wanda's doing this out of good intentions. She's not doing this to be an ass. But there's always that one person in this organization, or, in these general things where, like, oh, yep, we found Wanda, take the shot. So then Wanda's like, oh, nope, uses her powers, and bada bing, bada boom. You would think she would use her powers to throw the drone out of the world, but no. Then we cut back to the present time, and they're all by all the sword people, Detective Wu, Darcy, Geraldine, they're all by the force field that Wanda's created. And Wanda comes out of the force field in her full Endgame costume with the drone, literally warning Sword to just leave her be. She's got everything she needs back in this town that she's taken. And Geraldine is trying to talk to her, letting her know, Wanda, we just want to help you. What can we do? And Wanda's like, I already got everything I need. I'm going back in my sitcom. Leave me alone. So that's kind of the last we see of the present time. Wanda sets her warning, leave her be. That's it. So now we cut back to Vision. And Vision starts using his powers to really try to see what is going on with everybody. He talks to one of his employees at work and realizes that he's been missing from his family for a long time. And Vision really then starts to know that something is up. And as for Wanda, we learned that the dog that unfortunately the boys found they wanted to, adopt, has passed away. Because I guess the dog ate some really bad things off of a bush. I think. I'm not exactly sure. So Wanda tries to explain to them that death is a natural part of life. But the boys know that Wanda can do anything with her power, so why not bring the dog back? But she doesn't. And then Vision comes in, tries to, the boys know that unfortunately the dog has passed away. And then we get to the ending of the episode. And this is the big bombshell. Like, this is the massive spoilers as we get into the ending of this episode. Things start to get really heated with Wanda and Vision. For the first time ever, with these two characters, they start arguing. Vision doesn't know what's going on. He can't remember anything except for when he was brought into this television series. So now it lets the audience know that even though Vision is back, he has no memory, absolutely no memory from, his time as Jarvis up to the point that he was made as Vision in Age of Ultron and everything that happened in Civil War and Avengers Infinity War. He remembers none of it. It's just from the sickle, but he knows that, he has this connection with Wanda, but understands that something is not right. And he starts realizing that he believes that Wanda is starting to control everybody. That Wanda is kind of playing out this fantasy using her powers, and that's using a lot of energy. So they start arguing. You think it's going to lead into a fight. You honestly are led to believe at the end of this episode that it's leading to a fight. But then there's a knock on the door. Or ringing the doorbell. One of the two. I'm sorry. I still, because, okay. This is the big one, guys. Probably not the big one for the entire series, but this is a big spoiler. So after Wanda and Vision start having their little argument, which possibly could lead into a fight, or even foreshadowing that maybe these two are going to fight in the future. I don't know. it would be interesting to see. But either way, while they're arguing, they're stopped because they hear a ring on the doorbell or a knock on the door. They calm down a bit. Wanda goes to open up the door. As Wanda opens the door, we see the back of some guy with gray hair, mostly on the back of his head, with a little bit of black at the bottom. And it's Quicksilver. But here's the twist, guys. It's not Aaron Taylor Johnson, Quicksilver. It's Evan Peters. That's right. It's the Quicksilver from the X-Men movies, who has returned as Pietro/Quicksilver. And then Darcy makes the comment that Wanda recasted Pietro. That was unexpected. I seriously thought that it was going to be Aaron Taylor Johnson, but nope. It is Evan Peters from his roles as Quicksilver from X-Men Days of Future Past, X-Men Apocalypse, and X-Men Dark Phoenix, which was the last time that we saw him. Very briefly, but that's a conversation for another day about X-Men Dark Phoenix. I was watching this episode with my stepdad, and we were stunned. We had no idea. Now, some of you are probably, we're watching the episode, and you may even be watching my video before the episode, because maybe you just want to know my opinion or want to know about the episode ahead of time. Which, it's okay. You have a right to that. It doesn't matter. And you may be thinking, okay, it's just some cameo, some guy from the X-Men movies making it. Oh, no. This isn't just a cameo, guys. This is essentially what Spider-Man Far From Home kind of hinted at, but, they kind of played off it a little bit. I believe, and my stepdad believed this, especially stepping aside, the whole rumors about Spider-Man 3, which probably isn't, again, another video that we could talk about. My stepdad and I believe that what do you do after the events of Endgame? What's the next big thing that Marvel can do? They've acquired 20th Century Fox. They're going to make a Fantastic Four movie. They're making a Blade movie. The sky's the limit. So what's the next big thing that they can do? It's the multiverse, guys. And I have a lot of predictions on where I think WandaVision is going to go. And I'm debating if I want to do a video before the finale. Maybe even making some predictions to seeing if they're true and then talking about it once the finale airs. But I'm not sure yet. But I know that this appearance by Evan Peters, Quicksilver, isn't just a cameo. This is now saying that the timelines of all these different Marvel movies, from the X-Men to the original Spider-Man possibly, they're all coming together in the MCU. And I personally think that's going to be the next big thing that Marvel does. It's going to be messing around with the multiverse. Now, I don't want to go too much into my whole theories about where they're going with the multiverse, because I possibly want to save that for another video. But to wrap this up with episode 5 of WandaVision, this was the best episode so far. It did a great job mixing in, the sitcom portion and also going back to the present time, all cutting very well. So it doesn't feel choppy. There are a lot of references to other heroes and what's going on out in the world. And it all still feels like the MCU. And that's another positive thing that I have to bring up, is that even though this is a television show, it still feels like the MCU. And the quality of the shows are just great. And this was the longest episode so far. The episode was about 41 minutes. Even though there are a couple minutes in terms of credits, you're probably looking at a good over half an hour episode. And it still feels great. I love where this show is going. I can't wait to see where all the other Marvel shows go. It's gonna just make so much great content to watch on Disney Plus. So I'm gonna be giving this episode of WandaVision a most definite 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. Absolutely just great. Not, fantastic 10 out of 10, but 9 out of 10. Best episode so far. And it's really sad that we only have 4 episodes to go, but even though we only have 4 episodes to go, Right after WandaVision, we've got the Falcon and Winter Soldier, and I'm definitely looking forward to that show. Even though I think Falcon and Winter Soldier is only technically 6 episodes, but still. All in all, great episode. A very big spoilerish episode, so like I said in the beginning of the video, if you guys know anybody that hasn't seen the episode yet, let them know that there are big spoilers in this one, especially towards the end. I mean, the stuff at the beginning with Wanda coming out and kind of learning that she is kind of the mastermind, we can already kind of make predictions after episode 3. But this thing with Quicksilver and Evan Peters, Pietro, that's not something small. That's something big. And the fact that, again, they were able to keep that a secret, like with Luke in The Mandalorian, is absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. And these shows can go anywhere now. The fact that they can bring in these characters in these shows means they can do anything with the MCU. And I can't wait to see where it goes. So thank you guys so much for watching my review of episode 5 of WandaVision. I'm going to try and keep releasing some videos as much as I can. Next week I have a pretty busy work schedule, so I'm going to try and see what I can do. But thankfully, I believe that when the next episode of WandaVision releases next Friday, the 12th, I should have some time to film a reaction video and then upload it to YouTube when I can. But for a majority of the week, you probably won't see me in terms of content, but if something comes up with the Snyder Cut, some pictures and whatnot, I'll try to release a video as soon as I can. But as far as reaction-wise is, probably going to have to wait till next Friday for the next episode of WandaVision. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.